Hello and welcome to what is a championship defining race here in the penultimate round of WOR here in the sandy hills of Zandvoort. Of course, as I say, second to last race of the season and another chance to clinch our first ever WOR Drivers' Championship. We can also wrap up the Teams Championship today as well. But going into the circumstances, if I finish P7 or above, I win the championship. To continue the championship into the grand finale in China next week, Tom Manley must win the race and I must be P8 or below. So, those are the circumstances. This is the driving, and we are coming to the end of our first lap here in Q1 and just trying to hook up the final sector and just bring it all nicely together, tying together the apexes, the racing lines. So difficult here on Zandvoort to keep a really high minimum speed throughout the corner and still get a good exit onto the straights. Running up to the line, Tom goes P1, we go P2, and that's comfortably going to be putting us through into qualification 2. First lap, of course, using the worn set of tyres for our first lap here in Q2, and we go provisionally P1 with that as well, and that is very nice to see. But we are now in our first brand new tyre run of Q2 and coming out of the second sector split now, going into the chicane. So difficult to nail into the brakes, down to 4, throw the car in, and that was pretty successful. Didn't really get the front rotation that I would have dreamed of, but into the final apex of the lap, running a little bit wide. I didn't really get good tyre preparation for this lap, so the tyres were not biting into the asphalt as I would have loved them to be doing. But running up to line, it's going to be P7, and that's not good enough right now, as we are P10 here in Q2. So we have one final lap to hook it all together, to get it together, to put everything into a nice flow. Turn 1, down to 3rd gear, let the car rotate, short shift to 4th, and you see we got a snap of traction on the exit. Once again, it's not been a good start to the lap, and we are going to be fighting the rear axle all the way through the remainder of Sector 1, and we just didn't predict the traffic well enough, to be honest, in our outlaps. We're doing double outlaps today just to try and bring up the tyre temperature into an operating window that's ideal, and we just got caught out by the traffic and having to let people pass, what meant the tyres were too cold starting the lap, and you can see still fighting the car throughout the middle sector, and it's not been ideal, it's not been quick, it's not been smooth. But can it still be enough? Into the chicane, turn the car in. You can see we commit to the right and to the left, but you can see the car just isn't picking up the traction how we would have needed it to. Into the final apex of the lap, nothing to lose here. Good speed on the entry, middle, and exit. Running up to the start-finish line. What can we do? Battery is being used. Running up, start-finish line, and we're P10. But that is not going to be enough to go through into qualification 3, and we are starting the race P12 on the grid, as Tom Manley is actually going to be starting the race P2 as well after qualification 3 was done. We're starting on the hard compound tyres today, and a lot of people taking the same strategy. Cool. It's going to be slippery on these tyres in the first few laps. Very difficult to bring them into a good grip window. Down to turn 1 though. What can we do? Looking down the inside of Josh. And we have to be quite careful in this race, especially in the opening laps. We can't take that many big risks. Otherwise, we end up having a big chance of not winning the championship today. Looking around the outside of Josh, but we decide to back out of that and not put my car in a vulnerable position. One of the few people who did start on the medium compound tyres is Julian, and he is right behind us right now, and those medium tyres are just so fast compared to the hards on the opening laps, but they should suffer with tyre wear later in the stint as he goes down the inside. We leave him the racing room. He leaves us the racing room on the exit as well. We're going to try and maintain the position on the inside line, but it's going to be very difficult to do so, as now we're side by side down into the chicane. We're going to just go a little bit to the middle of the road to try and go a bit defensive, but Nicholas goes all the way around the outside again on those medium compound tyres that are so quick.
Didn't that be removed because I was trying to avoid him?
so quick on this opening lap. You hear me asking about the warning I got on the chicane, if it will be removed or not, and just trying to clarify what options we have going forward in the race. End of lap 1, we've lost 2 positions to 2 medium runners, so it's not been an ideal start to our championship hunt on this race. Skipping forward into lap 7, and Carnage is starting to in-shoot up ahead. You can see Xander is making contact with Julian up ahead, and Shinaka has lost a bit of his front wing, and we are going to be all in the Carnage, and we are going to be getting hit from behind.
I got hit so hard from behind.
Yeah, you can see, and here we got hit from behind in chicane, what allowed Ismail Fassi to go around the outside of us, furthermore dropping another position in this race. Of course, it still says that we're P14, but cars did retire basically in that time. So we have only gone backwards in this race so far. So we need to halt this negative momentum and start bringing forward some positive into our race. Otherwise, it is going to be very, very difficult to try and win the championship today. We're going to see starting our forward momentum here all over the back of Shinaka Clay down the inside. And now we'll be looking around the outside of him in the left-hander, clean around the outside, got the momentum, got the traction, got the friction, and we are going to be streaking ahead into the braking zone, and we are going to be up into P13, and that's what we need to do. That's the energy that we need for the rest of this race, to be moving forward with good pace, good momentum, and good confidence. Easier said than done when the championship is hanging in the balance, and you can see big snap of oversteer. Wasn't really feeling that comfortable with the setup on the hard compound tires. Just so easy to lose the grip of the car, and you can see me fighting the rear axle especially so many times during this stint. Moving on to lap 15, Josh goes wide, and we're going to try and sneak through, but just not enough window of opportunity, and try to go around the outside of him, but nothing going to work there. But you could see just wasn't close enough to Ismail to try and get forward of that opportunity that Josh presented for us. But now on lap 16, you're going to see we are using the battery down the pit straight, and we're going to try and just find a gap. We're going to try and make a good defensive, go around the outside late on the brakes. Can we do it? Can we carry the momentum? No, we can't. Just not enough speed around the outside line there of Josh Iredru, and we're going to try and look around the outside again, but again, not going to work, and it's not going to be an opportunity for us to really gain the positions.
I don't want to be in a Brazil situation again.
You can hear me say, I don't want to be in a Brazil situation again, and what that's referring to, it's a previous race where everyone went long, us included, and we just ended up getting stuck in the DRS train the whole race with no real tyre advantage, as Ismail Fassi goes up the inside of Eurus, and they're going to be side by side, and we're going to try and use the opportunity to go up the inside of Josh Iredru, but getting stuck on the inside curb, losing the traction. Now Thomas Ronha is down the inside of us, and we're going to try and hang the car around the outside, big lock up on the rear, and you can see we're just about able to keep the position. But to be honest, I think Thomas was pretty nice to us in that moment. I think with the inside line and momentum he was carrying, he could have quite easily took the position as we're going down the inside of Josh Iredru and just about drawing alongside, but he has the better traction on the outside line, and we're going to try and just keep the momentum around the outside, but just not enough grip on these hard compound tires. But as I was saying, on the inside line, I think Thomas could have definitely done more to take the position, but I think he was helping me out, to be honest, in that situation, and not taking the position so we could stay ahead. So thank you to him for that. As you can see, Julian and Josh are going wheel to wheel and actually banging wheels on the exit here, and Julian's medium compound tires are really starting to fade away right now, so we are going to be all over the back of him, and we need to make this position ASAP, so we can stay on the back of the cars with the same strategy options as us, i.e. being on the hard compound tires. Julian on the medium is just losing a bit of grip right now and is just not going to be completely optimized. He defends the inside line. We go a little bit deep. Julian's actually in the grass on the exit, so we are really pushing him as hard as possible to try and get the provisional P4 from him and put ourselves in a better chance of clinching the championship here today. Lap 22, you can see there's only 7 of us now, 8 cars that have not boxed for fresher rubber. So we are really going for the alternative strategy to Jay and trying to maximize our race later into the stint. You can see Julian now is boxing into the pit lane, and you can see I'm just saying I want to focus this lap, really stay nice and close to Josh and maximize the potential of these tires so I do not fall away from the DRS of Ismail Fashi and Josh Idwu. And you can see we did close out the gap quite rapidly actually to the 2 cars ahead, while keeping the battery in a very nice level here on lap 24. Lap 25, me and Thomas are the only people yet to box in this race as we're coming into the pit lane and we get super close to actually speeding into the limiter, but able to get it slowed down efficiently, going on to the soft compound tires for the finale of the stint here in Zandvoort. We are going to be on the freshest rubber of the pack, and we are going to be hunting people down with the maximum opportunity to have a better grip threshold than them. You can see Josh undercutted us, and he's only just about came out ahead of us, as Philippe Fleischneider as well has come out just ahead of us. So I am in P17 right now. I need to gain 10 positions to guarantee the championship here today, and there's only 10 laps to go. So now we start that ascent by getting past Philippe and Thomas following us through as well. And now we are going to be getting past Josh, making it a double overtake down the pit straight while taking the fastest lap of the race as well. So we are well and truly fighting for this championship now, putting ourselves in a chance to take it on our own merit, our own right, taking it without relying on other people's misfortune. That's the goal, that's the target, as we now go down the inside of Isfan Pookie up into P13 with 7-8 laps to go in this race. You can see now there's been a crash in turn 1. Tom Manley has been taken out of the race, what means we are now in championship winning position right here on lap 30. And this is quite a unique feeling now. The pressure is all off me because I can start taking risks. I can start looking for gaps that previously I wouldn't have been taking those risks on. So unfortunate for Tom, but opens up a brand new opportunity for us. And now you can see going past Julian, and we have got just about 5 laps to go in this race, and we can see the race leader up ahead as now Josh Idwu, I think, crashed in the pit lane entry and caused a safety car, and another twist in this championship is yet to come. You can see we come into the pit lane and strap on a fresh set of soft compound tires to go to the end of the race with, and this is where it's going to be spicy. This is where we can start taking risks. This is where we can start getting rewards and putting our car in a bit more edgy positions compared to where we couldn't earlier in the race. We are still ahead of Tom Manley, so we are still in championship winning position. And now here, ending lap 33, safety car is in this lap. We get a really good restart all over the back of Joni Tormona down the pit straight, trying not to use all my battery on the restart though. There's plenty more opportunities to get past. We look around the outside, laid on the brakes. Can we carry the momentum? No, we can't. We tried to go for the switchback, but just not enough grip here. Joni and Joris have fresh compound tires as well as us. They boxed with us basically, and the rest of the pack are on their old tires fighting to keep their track position. And this is going to be absolute carnage, trying to get through these final few laps of the race. You can see almost we are 3 wide up ahead, almost 4 wide. And you can see 3 wide again. Joris goes deep, and we're going to go up the inside. And now into the braking zone. What can we do here? We're going to be going around the outside of Joris, trying to find that traction. Ruben makes contact with Joni, and we're going to get around the outside of Ruben as well, opening up the overtake button down the straight. And we are already into P7 on this lap, and you can see actually Ruben tried to go around the outside of Joni, but just not enough grip on those older medium compound tires. And now we are all over the back here, as we are going to still be in lap 35, but P7, soon to be P6, as we go around the outside of Will Lewis. And you can see we are just putting a car in every gap available right now and sending it, because we can take those risks like I talked about a few minutes ago, and we can see the race win. And what a way to wrap up the championship it would be if we can win the race, and that's what we're hunting for. That's what we're striving for. Ismail goes defensive up the inside of Declan Barrett, I should say, and we actually do the switch back and into the slipstream now, trying not to use the overtake button. Make Declan go defensive. Ismail goes up the inside, and we actually go around the outside of 2 cars in 1 overtake. And we are now into P4, starting the final lap of the race after these 2 corners. And you can see Jake Benham, Nicholas Longue, Yoni Tormada, me, and then we've got Ismail Fassi behind. You can see we're starting the lap with 54% on the battery. Yoni Tormada is flashing up ahead of us, so I know he's low on the battery. Jake, Yoni are fighting as they can, and now we're looking down the inside of Yoni. We back out of that, and we're going to try to go around the outside of him here, but just not enough grip there. And you can see we're still going to try it, but we get forced onto the curb. But we are not going to be having that. We're going to activate our overtake button around the outside. Contact on the straight, side by side into the middle sector, trying to hang the car around the outside, take the position, take the podium here on the final lap, still side by side. And now we're going to get the move done, outbreaking Yoni around the outside. Got the momentum straight away though, onto the attack of Jake around the outside. Carry the momentum, carry the speed, confidence, grip, and get the track position down the inside here onto the straight, into the braking zone, 100-meter board. Jake's going to hang it around the outside of us. We're going to do the same. He's going to squeeze us to the outside, but we're not backing out of here. Second to last corner of the race, down the inside. We get the DRS detection. We have the DRS enabled. It's going to be a drag race to the start-finish line. Can we get P2 in this race? Yes, we can. Just by under a tenth.
Fuck yeah! Come on!
And we are WOR champion.
Mate, that's what we can do when we can actually take risks. Let's go, man!
Yeah, you can hear my live reaction. You can hear my live reaction. Say that's what we could do when we take risks, because I had to be so careful on the opening laps of the race just to not put my car in a stupid, silly position. And as soon as we could take risks, we made positions hand over fist, and we wrapped up the championship here today. And that's my first championship in 7 years of league racing, last one being on F1 2017 in fact. So very sweet, very nice, and it feels very, very good. Yeah, you can see by my live reaction I was very happy. Yeah, to be honest, thank you so much everyone for the support this season. There's still one more race to go in China. But yeah, honestly, thank you guys so much for the support, seeing the comments, seeing the support over social media, YouTube, Twitch, Kick, everything. Really means the world to me, and it keeps me motivated in the days that are not always positive, you know. So thank you, really. I was going to say from the top of my heart, but I don't know if it's from the top of my heart or from the bottom of my heart. I can't remember what the saying is. But with all my heart, I should say, thank you so much. And yeah, really, this is a special one for me. So yeah, into F1 Esports we go, and we'll be carrying this momentum with us as we look to try and succeed to take 3 F1 Esports World Championships. That's the target, and that's the goal, and that's what we're going to strive for. So, more news on that soon, and I will catch you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Grazie ragazzi. Ciao, ciao. Bye-bye.